So this is yet another video on super tuning your other plant trucks, and this time we're going to be talking about lubricant, as well as a few other things about maintaining the hanger and the base plate. So, if you take a look at how this works, this entire surface of the inside of the base plate, as well as this entire outside surface of the hanger, is all wear surface. As you move your truck, all of that is constantly rubbing and wearing on itself. Thankfully, it's got a very large surface area, so it's able to distribute wear very evenly and wear down very slowly. But you can actually really minimize the wear to make it almost non-existent by using lubricant. So if we take a look at this hanger here, you can see there's actually visible grooves where it has worn down. And it's even got a lip that's tall enough to catch your finger on, where it hits the edge of the base plate right there and there. And this is not really a terrible amount of wear, but I mean, this is all pretty much preventable. These trucks here are about the same age as those ones, but they've been maintained really well. Well, not really well, but you know, adequately well. And they've had shims for most of their life, as well as various types of lubes as I've tried them. And you can see here, I mean, it travels through the hanger, or the hanger travels through the base plate really smoothly. There's no slop. If I try to move it side to side like that, it's really tight. The motion is really controlled. Whereas this one, I mean, there's no bolt tightening it down, but you can see how much side to side slop there is. And you know, that's not a bad amount of slop. Many trucks have more slop than this. But what makes it really bad is, for most trucks, that slop is dampened with a bushing, whereas on a channel truck, that slop is completely undampened, and it's free to make a lot of noise and rattle and have impact, which can make the damage even worse. So, to address that, first thing you want to do, shims are really the best way to solve that problem. Shims will take the wear, they'll take the damage, and you just replace the shims as you need to. But what's also a really good step of that is some lubricant. So I've tried various types of lubricants to try to find something that works well. I used white lithium grease for a while, and you know, that's a really good lubricant. It's really thick, so it stays in place. But the problem with the greases and oils is they tend to leave a lot of lingering stuff, and you end up with just black grease that will get on your hands when you pick up your board by the trucks. So what works a lot better is silicone spray, and it really doesn't take a lot. You know, I usually just cock the hanger off onto one side. And basically, I'm trying to this is a new can, so it is quite aggressive for how much it sprays out. Yeah, it's too much. That's really all it takes. Just a very tiny amount, and maybe you want to get a paper towel and wipe off the extra, because any extra is just going to turn into a mess and leave residue. But it doesn't take very much. Just a couple drops of it is really all you need, and to get it in there, and you know, just every couple weeks, maybe every month or so, just a couple more drops. You don't have to take it apart to get some more grease in there or some more oil in there. And it makes them feel smoother, but it also just helps prevent additional wear, and that's really what's important to maintain the trucks and keep them performing really well. So that's lubricant talked about. You know, it's really very simple. But some other things I want to talk about with the channel and hanger just at the end here is it's also really important to make sure that you assemble the hanger correctly and that it is tightened down enough to where it's not knocking about. If your truck is knocking about like this, the problem with that is impact damage. And the impact will not only impact the hanger and cause these ends to wear out prematurely, but it can also bend the aluminum. The base plates are, you know, extruded CNC aluminum. They're really high quality, but it's not a hardened alloy. So the aluminum, you know, will bend if you hit it repeatedly again and again and again and again with these small impacts. So it usually will take, you know, almost blatant neglect to cause damage to the base plates from it slopping about. But just keep in mind that if your trucks are moving around like this, make sure you get your bolts in the slot and tighten those down so that it's not able to move around as much anymore. Shims would also prevent this really, really well, and shims can also be a good thing to help tighten it up and also kind of repair damage that might have already been done.